maybe even
Yeah,
9 days.
sounds about 9 days maybe, yeah.
Maybe even 9 days now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Adrian and I have had our meeting. We're just saying, in a way, with COVID numbers being so low and with Joe Biden declaring victory in the States, it kind of feels like there's I don't know, a lifting of macro anxiety, particularly for us
For
in
sure.
Victoria, you know. I got to go to the beach yesterday. It was nice down here in Melbourne. It's even nicer today.
Yeah. Blue sky.
That's good.
Loving it.
Yeah.
Was the water cold?
Oh, I didn't go swimming, to be honest. I just put the toes in. There's a bit of a
Yes.
breeze. Just had a hit of the. Just did some volleyball training, to be honest. So it's good. Bit of a crew.
What's your local beach, Steve?
Well, the local in Melbourne's west would be Williamstown, but we play down at Port Melbourne, Albert Park Beach.
Oh, okay.
And so we can have there's permanent, I think, 9 courts permanently set up, and then on competition we basically have about 18 courts set up. So, yeah.
Awesome.
So it's good fun. Yeah, and they were well used on Sunday. It's good. And I'm going to head to Altona Beach tonight. We've got a couple of courts set up there permanently too. So go and have a bit of hit with the crew, the Altona crew. Yeah, that'll be good. How about you, Hayley Gaffney? How'd you get on?
Oh man, I've had a rough weekend. I split my thumb open, and then I didn't want to go to the hospital to get it glued. I wanted to go out, so I went out, and then I smashed my phone, and now it doesn't work. And then on Sunday, got my thumb glued back together, and now today I might go get my phone fixed. You know.
So the obvious question is, how the heck did you split your thumb open?
I was clean. Something fell off my wall the other day, and I just put it into like a box. But there's like my room is a little literal like dumping ground.
Yeah.
So I was trying to clean up my room, but I had like so many boxes with so much trash in it. I was trying to sort that out, and I literally just like shoved my hand into the box full of glass. And the rest is history, as they say.
So what did it? Was it? So it was a cut.
How did it out?
Was it a cut then, basically? What sort of glass was it that you could? So what sort of glass?
It was like you know those things that hold like plants that you hang. There's like a mini one, and it like smashed.
Wait, Hayley, weren't you playing tennis yesterday?
Post tennis, prior to going out. But yes, I was. But it's my left hand, so don't worry, guys. The tennis career is don't worry.
The world's largest.
The tennis career is still. I was actually watching just randomly on iView last night. There was Margaret Court and Rod Laver. So maybe you should watch that.
Not like them.
Inspiration. Yeah.
I can't serve the ball.
Yeah.
And it goes over about 30% of the time. But improvements.
Well, we might have to have a tennis summer event at some stage. My parents spent a lot of money on me to play tennis as a junior, and so I like to think I'm pretty handy. It's a bit like surfing. My head tells me I'm an awesome player, but in actual fact, when I go and play, I'm probably not anywhere near as what I think I am. But yeah, I did have a lot of money spent on me as a junior. So, down at Arthur Marshall's. I don't know if you. In fact, poor old Arthur's died down now, but he's down at East Fremantle there, Evelyn. So you know, on those courts, right on the river. It's beautiful down there, actually. So.
I've actually never played tennis, even though I went to Applecross.
Yeah, well, that's the irony. Is Applecross become a tennis school?
Yeah.
I was the tennis all-star in my final year. Wasn't a tennis school back then, so it was really just a medal for it. Good overall, really. No sponsorship, nothing. How was your weekend, Emily?
Great. good news, so can't complain.
Good news? What's the good news?
Biden.
Of course.
Yeah, so that was good. Yeah, it was nice. I went to South Bank yesterday. My cousin had an interview, so I took her in. So it was lovely.
I'm sure you watched it, but anybody else watch Biden's victory speech?
No.
So good. So good, wasn't it, Emily?
Yeah, it was nice to watch someone use complete sentences for change.
Well,
You
just
kind of wish though, like, Tracy's okay, but like just a big gust of wind just kind of knocks him over. He can't be the president anymore, and then you get Camille Harris. Because
Yeah, that's the goal, right?
I really want her. I love her.
Yeah, she's so good.
well, that's the other beauty, isn't it? Like you've got this unbelievably good vice president. She's awesome.
And in the past, like in World War one of our presidents had a stroke, and his wife took over. And like Dr. Biden is really educated and super smart, so I think we'll be okay all around.
Well, that's right. Well, Jill is an educator, right? So she's
she's got a doctorate.
Yeah. So how good's that? Like it just, but that's what I mean. The whole thing just felt. I was saying to Adrian before everybody jumped on. It just feels like this macro anxiety, particularly for us in Victoria, just feels like it's lifted. We've had COVID, and now we've got this sort of the superpower of the world has just changed to someone sensible, and it's it's time to heal. He's saying all these words that you just want to hear.
Yeah,
Ben was following it as well, so it's just I don't know. It just feels like the weekend felt just so much like a line in the sand. I don't know.
It was lovely. Can't complain.
Awesome. Well, listen, on that note, how about we kick off? Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all. Adrian, we are going to get a Victorian to do the acknowledgement.
Yes. Can we get Andy to start us off today?
We acknowledge that we are on the traditional lands of the Kulin Nation. We offer our respects to the owners of these traditional lands, and through them to all the original and Torres Strait Islander peoples past and present.
Awesome. And everybody knows our lay of the land today. Our special guest today, or our special presenter, is Hayley, so that's going to be good. I'm looking forward to that. I've seen her presentation already. Best presentation ever. Nice work, Hayley. All right. What have we got? Is Andy going to do? Maybe this has changed just a little bit, Andy, but it still look pretty much the same.
So our mission is to protect, build, and grow businesses using social media marketing. Our purpose is to gain competitive advantages and to attract and retain more customers. I'm gonna pick community because sorry, I was just really thinking about community. I think especially at these times, communities just attending WBN and stuff. Their support group and our community in general is just support groups are helping us getting through this pandemic. So I think community is a good.
I think community is an absolute awesome choice as well, Andy. And it actually helps because something that, again, I spoke with Adrian this morning in our one-to-one is, I've sort of said I've got to stay really focused between now and Christmas break, right? I'm just going to try and do my best to really do all the things that I've been doing till now, and in terms of to support you guys and do what we can within the business to really give ourselves a good go into the summer period. But one of the things I was mentioning to Adrian, and the focus is we're a networking business at the end of the day, right? And have you heard? Many of you may have heard the saying, "Your network equals your net worth," right? And you guys are young, right? You guys are incredibly young. You've got incredible opportunity. I want you to consider your network in the same way as you might consider superannuation, right? In a way, I believe if you invest in your network now, I'm super confident that you will have such a competitive advantage as you move forward, right? Does that make sense why that would be the case?
Yeah.
If you grow your network now, then you will be so far ahead of the rest of your peers. It is to be ridiculous, right? Because effectively, no one is probably doing the same things as what you guys are doing, right? So let's use that as a bit of our focus towards the end of the year. Let's start really building. I often have these conversations with Hannah. I don't know why it happens. Maybe it's because Hannah and Emily, my last conversations, by the end of a one-to-one week, and I'm kind of thought about other things. But the other thing to be aware of, and the other saying that you might also have heard of is, know me, like me, trust me, right? So ultimately, the idea about your network is not just building a list of people that you know. Ultimately, getting to know them and building relationship is just so important in what we do, right? People won't work with us if they don't trust us. Often people don't trust the channels that we're working with. So it's important that they trust you in order that then they'll go, okay, well, if Hannah, if Hayley, if Evelyn says that this is an opportunity, then it must be an opportunity. Does that make sense? Because they'll trust you first. They'll certainly trust you before they trust Mark Zuckerberg, right? Because you're the closest thing to Mark Zuckerberg in their lives, right? So just so you know. But anyway, your network equals net worth, but really it's about getting to know people at a more than superficial level, right? So understanding their businesses and having them understand you and what we do. Yep. Awesome. And this one's just changed a little bit. We don't probably need to talk too much around here, but remember what we often do is we reverse brief most of the businesses that we work with. In other words, we tell them what the objectives should be when we're doing small business social media marketing. We talk about a long and a short tail. The long tail is building upon those relationships and those networks and the people that already know them in order that they will keep and come back to them and continue to do business with them. The short tail, by comparison, is advertising. And so it's always important for our customers that we remind them that those two things need to work in tandem, right? The short and the long tail of social media marketing. Cool. And then the other thing that I've added to this slide for Hayley and for myself, because I've got a presentation following Hayley the next week, is that I think this is important, right? That people know that we are small business social media marketers. At the end of the day, we only do it primarily for small business. And so all of our pricing is on the website. You know, the reason we use this cover is because this cover is our business network. It's people that we're either working with or in some capacity, right? And so just remind people, we've got a brochure that's about to be updated and we will be able to send to people, and we'll have physical hand copies. So when you're giving your face-to-face presentations in future, you'll be able to give those brochures out to people, right? So, and believe me, our audience love a brochure. Um, it's so much more easy for people to look at front page, audit and consult, second page, setup, third page, planning, fourth page, management. It helps them just put into a sequence of what we actually do in our business. It's on the website, but our target audience love a brochure. That's the way the brochure's been worked out. It's basically done to replicate the website, just so you know. Because I'm presenting next week, I'll do this one as well. Hayley's going to give it to us again. The focus is always, we are social media marketers. Social media marketing, like any marketing, works best. It's a bit like a fruit salad. It's a marketing communications tool. So we use social media marketing as a tactic which works best if you're using other tactics. Those tactics could be newspapers, those tactics could be flyers, those tactics could be print, those tactics could be business networking or SEO. It's not just SEO, but we often talk about the fact that they work best with other digital things, but online and offline. In our business, we largely use business networking and social media marketing. That's our main communications tactic. Clearly, which you guys know, this is our marketing house. It's our business marketing house. You need to have your business act together to give yourself every chance that your marketing communications will work better, right? It's not to say that they'll fail, right? I think you guys have heard me say that. It may mean that if we do this, that you may not succeed in the way you'd hope to if you haven't got these other things all together. We start by getting you your act together on LinkedIn, right? We make sure that you're a LinkedIn all-star. It's not our main focus because we don't do personal brand largely. We generally do business social media marketing, but we make sure that you are the best possible representative of your business and brand. Social media marketing is all about B2B, B2C, C2C. It's everybody could talk to everybody. So we make sure that we know what your rivals are doing and we want to do your social media marketing better than they do it, right? We use a particular strategy that says put all of your content somewhere that we can use it for your social media, because we believe if you put your content on your website, you'll get the benefit of not just social media marketing, you'll get the benefit of search. Because if your content's keyword rich, it just means that basically it's going to help it when people are looking for you. We have a particular way. We know we've been taught to read from top left down to the top right. We encourage you to put your phone number and your email details on the top right as well as your social media. And then we clearly want to put a little pixel code here that tells us how is your communications online working, right? Because it's the pixel is reading where and how many people are going through the website. Clearly, the main 4 channels that we use are LinkedIn company, your Facebook page, your Instagram account, and your Twitter. We use a little hack that gets things from your Instagram to your Twitter. And we use Facebook Ads Manager to do your advertising, and Facebook includes Instagram, right? We know that this is a power punch for your business, right? Because effectively, not many people do it. In fact, less than 13% of small business have any strategy when it comes to social media. And yet 90% of us in Australia are using social media, and in particular Facebook and Instagram, right? So that's why it's really important that you have some sort of strategy for your business and those objectives we talked about before. It's important you know what the objectives you're trying to achieve from your social media marketing. And like any good marketing, you should measure. You should measure your success. How much does it cost you to set things up in the first place? How much does it cost if you're going to be doing advertising? And how much does it cost for somebody like Dify Social to manage your ongoing posting schedule? And ultimately, how many people are you getting coming back? And how many new people are you getting when you're actually doing your social media marketing? But you should be measuring that for all marketing, right? Ultimately, you should know how much revenue, how much new customer, how much retained customer you are generating for your business. And that's it. So just as far as BNI is concerned, we're really down to the skinny end. We've got a 70% of you now in BNI, which is awesome. So way to go, everybody, for getting in and on. And now, you know, I've been saying to those of you that are in BNI now, it's not that it takes the work away, but it does take it's a nice it basically puts you on a networking path, on a meetings path that is difficult if you're not part of those networks, right? So Anthony and I are pretty confident. We've got a bit of a plan to get Anthony into one. So we're getting some really good sort of feedback around that. Evelyn, we're persisting with. So Evelyn, again, we're sort of working. We've got, you know, a couple of chapters we're still exploring. But we just know that setbacks are just that, right? They're just setbacks. In many ways, if we hadn't had some of the setbacks early, we wouldn't have, you know, Hayley, Hannah, Emily, or even with Andy, right? We wouldn't have you all in the chapters that you're now in, or in the business networks that you're now in. And I think that's the thing. Basically, it's all a bit of meant to be as far as I'm concerned, right? We get to the ones that we're meant to be in. So, celebrate our wins. We're a bit skinny on client wins, but we should celebrate the fact that Adrian had a good win. And he tells me that he's already got his gift voucher, so that's good. And Hannah had a double win. Did you get your gift
I
voucher?
know, it's so good. No, I haven't received mine yet, Steve, but I'm not worried.
Adrian got his, and I'm hoping because your one had two gift vouchers in it for getting the fashions person and the this horse that came second. Hayley's fired in a protest. That's the only problem. Is Hayley's put in
It's not my protest to protest. I was just saying. I just put the protest out there.
Yeah. So basically, the last horse, when I looked, was classed as Anthony Van Dyke, but technically it didn't finish the race, which was actually pretty sad. But and clearly then became anyway. That's not celebrating a win, but that was given to Jake, which maybe is slightly coincidental, given that Jake is also not too well at the moment, but hopefully doesn't need to be put down. And I say that to be funny, not to be nasty. Right. Huong, I don't believe is with us today. Adrian, what are we going to share with people today?
This week we're going to share our favourite summertime activity.
Which for some of us is pretty easy. And maybe for others. So we all good? Do you need any time to be thinking about your favourite summer activity?
No, let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Awesome, I like it. All right, good morning, Diffy Social. My name is Steve Hubbard, and I am the social media marketer here in Melbourne, where I've lived, worked, and played for over a dozen years now. And my favourite summertime activity, and I did it yesterday, and I'm going to be doing it again tonight, is beach volleyball. I love it. It's great to get back together with the crew. My win for the week, well, I think we did Melbourne Cup pretty well last week, so I'm going to back up on that. I reckon we did pretty well as an organisation. We did well and I had a pretty good day. I didn't win any money, but at least I did well as far as Melbourne Cup celebrating is concerned. This week, I would really love an introduction. It's NAIDOC week this week, right? So I'd really love an introduction to Indigenous business. I reckon we can assist Indigenous businesses with our social media marketing model. So I'm going to be focusing a little bit more specific for my B&I, but I'll be looking for Indigenous business this week as far as my referral request. Next up is Adrian.
Thanks, Steve. I am a marketer graduate from VU, and I am your Diffy social media marketer here in Maidstone. My favourite summertime activity would be road trips, and my win for the week would be winning the Melbourne Cup. So thank you, Steve, for that voucher. I have to go shopping soon. And this week, I'd really like to connect with plumbers. My B&I chapter is looking to grow our trade sphere. So if anyone knows a plumber, let me know. And next up is Andy.
Hi, my name is Andy. I'm a marketing graduate from RMIT University, and I'm your Diffy social media marketer here in Sunshine, Brimbank Council, where I've lived, worked, and played my whole life. Favorite summertime activity would be the beach, quite generic, but it is the best. My wins for the week is Peter Hemphill got re-elected as council.
Yeah.
As a councillor, so yes. I would really like to work with and connect with trades, so carpenters and builders this week. And next up is Anthony.
Morning, everyone. I'm Anthony, and I'm a marketing graduate from La Trobe University. I'm a Diffy social media marketer here in Epping within the Whittlesea Council, where I've lived, worked, and played for nearly 5 years now. I'm originally from country Victoria. My favourite summer thing to do, well, it is the beach, but growing up, it would be the hay season in the summertime. So carting all the hay from the paddock into the shed. That's something different. Farm life. My wins for the week. I had an awesome B&I meeting on Friday morning. Hopefully I can go back and visit again. I think that won't be an issue. And hopefully put an application for that B&I chapter. And I would really like to work with and for businesses within the sporting industry still. I have been keeping a close eye if anything would pop up. And so, yeah, this week I'm looking to connect with those types of businesses. Up next is Hayley.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Hayley, and I am your almost marketing graduate from Monash Uni. And I'm your Dify social media marketer here in Melbourne, Victoria, where I've lived, worked, and played for about a year. My favourite summertime activity is having some drinks with friends. My wins for this week, it's been a bit of a quiet week. Probably like the short week. The short week was a win. I would really like to work with and for businesses in the professional industry. So this week I'm looking to connect with lawyers, accountants, bookkeepers. Thanks. On to Emily.
Hi, my name's Emily. I'm your Dify social marketer for Holland Park, Brisbane. I'm a graduate from Rutgers University, and I'm currently at Griffith. I've been here since January. I'm originally from New Jersey. Actually, my favorite summer activity is the beach. It's not super known fact that New Jersey also has beautiful beaches, so I've been going to the beach every summer my whole life, and I'm excited that Australia also has beautiful beaches. My wins for the week would be that I had my first in-person BNI meeting, and it went really well, so that was exciting. I would like to work with and for photographers. My BNI doesn't have any, so we're on the lookout. And up next is Hannah.
Thanks, Emily. My name is Hannah, and I'm a marketing graduate from QUT, and I'm your Dify social media marketer here in Brisbane, Queensland, where I've lived, worked, and played for 8 years. However, I'm currently from Melbourne. My favourite summertime activity is going to the beach on beach trips with my friends. My win for the week would be getting the fashions and coming second in the Melbourne Cup properly. That was good. And this week, I would like to work with businesses in the marketing IT sphere to grow in my chapter. So I'm looking to connect with a web developer. Next up is Ben.
Good morning, everyone. I am your social media marketer here in Perth, Wanneroo, where I've been living for the past 14 years. I'm a marketing, advertising, and PR graduate from ECU. My wins for this week, pretty quiet week. I got my new tattoo, which is pretty sweet. And in terms of BNI, in terms of BNI, I won the most one-to-ones for the month, and I won most visitors for the month as well, which is actually pretty good. So that was actually pretty good. And this week, I'm looking to connect with small, trades. We're looking for just a handyman at our chapter. So yeah, this week looking to connect with just handyman. Up next is Evelyn.
Hi, good morning. I'm Evelyn. I'm a marketing graduate from University of Sydney, and I'm your Dify social media marketer here in Bull Creek, Perth, Western Australia, where I've lived for most of my life. My favorite summertime activity is actually leaving the country and skipping on summer, because I don't really like summer when it gets really hot. So I don't think I'll be doing that this time, actually. My win for the week. I went to one new BNI, one old BNI, and I was going to go to another one, but then it was Melbourne Cup, and I didn't think that it would affect Perth, actually, because it's not a national holiday. But yeah. This week I would really like to work with and for, I still think copywriter or anyone in the creative industry, because it's really important to have a strong power team in BNI. So yeah, this week I'm looking to connect with anyone in creative. Up next is Adrian Asks.
And Evelyn also shared her streaming video with me and Anthony. That was pretty cool.
Thanks for subscribing.
Yeah, you actually have to listen to it with the headphones down a little bit, otherwise.
Headphone warning. Yeah, it's really loud.
Evelyn, gives you a few surprises, but it's pretty cool. It's actually quite addictive. Is that what to quite watch? footage. Anyway, there you go. Not that I watched. You've only got the one video. How many videos have you got up on the?
Yeah,
YouTube?
only one. That was the first one.
That was the first one. So yeah, that was a win for you. There you go. You should be celebrating that. And everybody else should go in and subscribe if you haven't done it already. Hey, what that reminded me is next week I'm not going to be short of our wins for the week because I'm going to use this week's wins to put up. So as you said, the couple that there's a few things that stood out for me, right? Councillor Peter Hempel, that's an awesome thing, Andy. You're right. Well, way to go, you. Getting councillor, being part of being Councillor Peter Hempel. That was awesome. Also, it did remind me, we went to a Brimbank localised event. I got some really good contacts from that I connected with from LinkedIn, and I'm going to invite them along to my BNI. It was brilliant. So I really enjoyed. So that was a win for me, and I could have used that one. The other ones that stood out, I put little asterisks. Well, again, just around. And this isn't to take away from Adrian's ask, by the way. I was going to ask about your tattoo, but then I realised I don't need to do it. But that's a huge thing, Ben. Most one-to-ones and most visitors. That's big. That's huge. It doesn't matter. That's a big thing for you. So yeah,
First month too.
let's make sure we celebrate. So I'll be celebrating that next week in our PowerPoint. So but those sort of things. Yeah, I mean that's great. That you guys are sort of looking to what you've done in BNI in the week. And good job. Well done, Adrian. Ask them.
Okay. Let's go, Emily. What was Anthony's favourite summertime activity?
Hay season on the farm.
Yes.
Oh, that's unique. That must
that
be
was a good one.
Your sinuses. What happens to your sinuses at hay season, Anthony?
Oh, you can guess. I'm
You'd
dead.
be destroyed.
Yeah.
You'd do one day and then you'd be out for a week, wouldn't you?
Well, the good thing is it's usually I do it early in the morning because if it's any later, it's too hot because the truck's got no air conditioning.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a sideline. I did watch Farmageddon with Oliver on the weekend. Quite a funny movie. Just showing the sheep. It's good.
And I was going to ask someone what Ben's win for the week was, but I think we just went over that. So I'll just ask Ben, what tattoo did you get?
Oh, jeez. I got. Oh, Christ. Right. Hold on. 1 sec. I'll see if it's actually. How the fuck?
It's on your ass. It's on your ass. We don't want to see it.
Not on my ass.
Oh, jeepers.
It's the flower.
Yeah. There we go.
Is it still?
Oh.
It looks like there's no inflammation anymore. Did you have to put plastic on it and that sort of thing to start with?
Oh, Christ. You know what? I don't have to do a stretch after that. Christ. I've got to keep it wrapped for 6 days because she's gone quite deep with the coloured ink. So I keep it wrapped at night, obviously to avoid having ink go onto the bed because that shit does not come out. And during the day, I just let it air out, and I just genuinely don't rub or itch or have it scratch or anything.
How long did it take, Ben?
3, maybe 4 hours. 3, maybe 4. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was 3 or 4. The one on my shoulder here, that was 6 or 7. So, yeah.
So long.
And Ben, can I ask who does the social media marketing for the business that you actually went to?
She does her own. She's got her own Instagram. I already had a chat with her about that. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm happy to audit it with you if you like. No worries. I actually have done an audit and consult at one stage for a tattoo business. They're good businesses. So I do say that tongue in cheek, but they are good businesses to work with because clearly any business that has that sort of crossover between education and entertainment you are good businesses to work with, right? Because people just like the art of it and you kind of got impassioned people and followers. So, yeah. All right, off mic. Who's stretching us?
Well, Emily was frozen for a while.
She's frozen on
She's
mine.
still frozen.
She's not frozen on mine, which is unusual.
Am I still frozen?
No.
I know, usually my internet's bad. I hadn't come up with one, but I can do one, I guess. So, okay. Sit in the front of your chair and then clasp your hands behind your back and just pull downwards, and it stretches the front of your shoulders.
Yeah. You're allowed to use 3 different stretches, by the way, Emily. So we can go back on the old ground. So that's back of shoulders. What else should we do? Something front of shoulders.
This was front of shoulders.
Okay. What about this one? What about this one? We generally do this one. We'll do it on both sides, I reckon. Very good. Shake it out. Oh, I meant to use my prop. That's right. I meant to use my prop for what's my favourite beach time activity. Anyway. Rightio. In terms of stretching when it comes to sport, though, I once did it back in the early 2000s. I haven't done much since. Rightio. We've got Hayley. Are you all good to go? Are you happy for me to share screen here?
Yep.
I just did make a minor tweak, just so you know, to your oh, hang on, was that working? Share.
Tweak.
As in, it just updated slightly. I just put your image on the front page.
I hate that it's going before my BNI, but that's okay for today.
Right. Okay.
I deleted it on purpose, Steve.
I'm sure you'll be able to find something really nice that I've taken from you from one of our whereby meetings. Or just use the one of the team. Use everybody then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Hayley Gaffney, who's based in Melbourne. She's previously worked in customer service and retail. She is currently about to complete a double degree in arts and communication and marketing at Monash University. Her burning desire is to succeed by continually exceeding expectation and achieve anything she aspires to. Something not many people know about. You've still got him. She is a sucker for reality TV, and not that anybody else generally sees this, and pretty much watch anything. What's now that footy season's finished? What's the latest? What's the main one at the moment?
Man, there's so many. You've got The Block, SAS Australia.
How's that SAS? That's the one I was meaning. SAS. How's that one going? Is that all right?
I don't know. I don't know. I literally just watch anything these days. No standards.
Okay. I was kind of interested in that SAS one, but anyway. Her key to success is continue to learn, strive to be better, and be confident in your own ability and take every chance. Awesome way to go, you. And over to you, Hayley.
Cool. Good morning, everyone. My name's Hayley Gaffney, and I am the Dify Social Media Marketer here in Melbourne. As Steve said, I study a double degree in business marketing and arts, media and communication at Monash. A little bit about me outside of work. I love to see friends, go for a drink, get out for something to eat, go to a gig, or even just hang out and watch a movie. I also don't mind a cheeky bet, so if you ever have a tip for pretty much anything on sports bet, don't hold out on me. If I'm not with my friends, I'll be watching some terrible reality TV or hanging out with my family. A bit of a fun fact about my family is that we all have the same tattoo. After a Mother's Day joke that became a Christmas Day present and left my mum in tears, it resulted in our whole family going to get a tattoo. I follow the Tigers and I'm also a big Manchester United fan. Apparently, both your teams can't be doing well at the same time, which sucks for me. I do love to bake and enjoy to whip up some delicious cakes and desserts. I travel and last year did a 4-month trip in Europe before studying at the University of Leeds in the UK for a year. That picture of campus is actually a really bright, sunny day for Northern England. When I was in the UK, I worked for a company called Hype Collective as a brand ambassador, hosting events on campus for companies like Adobe. And prior to this, worked at the Mazda Australia head office. Next slide, thank you. Dify Social is a do-it-for-you social media marketing consultancy with passionate qualified passionate university qualified marketers across Australia. We live, work and play across the country with marketers in Victoria, along with Queensland, South Australia and WA. Here are all their lovely smiling faces, which I get to catch up with every week. Next slide. Here at Dify Social, our mission is to protect, build and grow businesses using social media marketing, and our purpose is to gain competitive advantages for businesses using social media marketing tactics that include Facebook advertising to both attract and retain customers. We love to have fun and do good here at Dify and value the BNI philosophy of givers gain. Next slide, thanks. If you come to Dify, we have 4 main objectives, which are to protect and build equity in brands and businesses online and through social media websites. We want to differentiate your brands, businesses, and representatives online to make you look better than your competitors. Of course, to be successful, you need to be top of mind with target communities. Social media has the ability to increase the number of communications or touch points with your existing clients and customers, prospects, and community networks. And finally, increase business development opportunities using inbound marketing tactics and social proofing to drive the target audience to explore their interests and engage via social channels, websites, phone, email, or even walking through the front of a brick and mortar store. Next slide, thanks. This is our marketing model. It's what we live and breathe by here at Dify. Up in the top left box, it shows you where social media fits into the small business house. As I mentioned before, we want to help businesses communicate and promote to people that you know and prospective customers. We do this by utilizing all the things underneath, particularly your words and images that you already use on the website. Our second step, it shows where we look at your personal LinkedIn as it's directly related to the business, but then we really focus on your business and how it's represented online within those different social media channels and customer touch points. We see how your competitors are looking online, and we look into who your customer is, what they look like, who they are, and understanding how your target audience and how best to communicate with them. Lastly, understanding marketing communications is about 2 things: keeping the people that know you coming back and getting in touch with new customers. So we do posts for the people that know you and follow you, and we advertise to find new business. This whole middle section indicates that people know how to read a website. And what we aim to do with social media is send people to your website to use your call to action buttons or to find out more about your business. As I said, we set you up on the 2 main search engines, YouTube and Google, and also across the 4 main social platforms, which are LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Dify uses a web to social model, so taking information already on your website and repurposing that to educate your audience and provide them with a gateway to find out more or contact you on. Moving on to the top right, we know that less than 50% of small businesses are on social media, and of that, only 35% use any form of advertising. With 90% of Australians on social media and people using it more than ever due to COVID, it can be a valuable asset to your business. Facebook treats your dollars the same regardless of how many followers you have. You'd be lucky to get a 10% reach on a post from people that follow you. By just investing $5 a day, you can get up to 10,000 people reaching a post. To us, Facebook advertising is the key. Because it owns Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp, and we can market directly to your target audiences. Facebook advertising has the ability not just to narrow down the geographical location of your clients, but down to the terms they are engaging with online, what they are searching for, and placing it into the newsfeed of people that have specifically been looking for a business like yours. For businesses interested in, next slide. For businesses interested in exploring social media marketing, we offer a range of services. Our pricing is all readily available on our website, and we don't do smoke and mirrors. And from the get-go, are very open about our pricing. We are seen as a more budget-friendly compared to most digital agencies. We offer an audit and consult where we go in and review your business. If you are already on social media, it would be looking at profiles and what could be done better. If there aren't any profiles, that's okay. We would be looking at who owns that space and what you could be doing. After this, we offer a setup and planning session. This involves us sitting with you to set up or revise your business across LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google My Business, and YouTube, making sure you're looking consistent and great by the end of it. Following the setup, we will work with you collaboratively to determine the scheduling of your media posts, your Facebook ads target audience, and confirm the marketing, management, and Facebook advertising tactics which we will engage with. Our management plans come in 3 different sizes, starting from $220 a month, which involves scheduling posts, providing monthly or bi-monthly reporting, as well as having 1 day a week where we go into your accounts and engage with the community, share something from your industry or local area, and show people that you are a social business and not just pumping out content. Next slide, thanks. We work with a range of professional, fun, essential, and online businesses. Anyone who is looking for a qualified social media marketer. When I said we work with pretty much anyone, I wasn't kidding. We've worked with people from counsellors to lawyers and onto clothing brands and tradies. We can help most businesses get the most out of their social media. You can read about all of the businesses we have worked with further on our blog. Next slide, please. We love to work with people who are good at what they do. Usually our clients are between 40 and 60 years old. They often aren't quite sure about Facebook or find it overwhelming and even suggest it's not working for them. We can help you to get to the bottom of why it wasn't working for you and apply our successful model, which has worked for so many small and medium-sized businesses. We are here to help people gain control of their social media and use it as an asset to help build the business. Diffy stands for do it for you. So while you don't have to worry about the running of accounts, you still have full control and own them at the end of the day. More and more, online is becoming the place to be. Your business should have social media presence, and these social platforms help you connect with your customers, increase awareness about your brand, and boost your leads and sales. If you think you have to have some pages established or even understand social media to work with us, you are wrong. We have helped people who didn't even have a Facebook account before they came to us. Last slide. If you are interested in finding out more about how Diffy Social can help you, or if it's like I've been speaking a foreign language this whole time, please get in contact with me because I'm more than happy to have a chat about the scary world that is social media. Thanks for listening, and if you want to follow up, like I've said before, you can tweet me, text me, call me, tag me, DM me, send me a TikTok, post on my wall, Snapchat me, react to my messages, FaceTime me, connect with me on LinkedIn. Otherwise, a classic email has always worked well too. Thanks again.
Oh my goodness. No, that was unbelievable. Do you want to do my presentation the following week? Would that be all right?
Oh my God. How long did it go for? I still have a whole minute, Steve. What do I do?
Oh, good job. You even
Go down. I'll speak.
Is that right? Was that 9 minutes? Is that what it was? That
9 minutes on the dot.
Wow, that's unbelievable. That's so good. So in actual fact, you could take a couple of questions. Anybody want to give some feedback to Hayley? My only feedback would be, man, you just blew me out of the water. That was unbelievable. That was so good.
You're making me blush.
I can't believe that you found pictures that were good of you.
That was really
I know.
good.
I couldn't believe it either.
They clearly weren't taken by me, right?
Nah, they were from Emily gave me the idea of going into like recordings and then screenshotting. So I just found like the best image of me. Didn't care about anyone else on the screen, and I was like, screenshot.
Oh, that was awesome. Anybody else?
Perfect. I'm glad it worked.
Yeah. Why do you reckon that worked really? I mean, you know what? I know you were probably following a bit of a script, but it didn't feel like you were speaking it much, right? It felt like it was pretty natural. So maybe that's a bit of a talent as much as anything else, but it just sounded really authentic. Would you agree, everybody?
Definitely.
Yeah. It was
Yeah, that was really good. Really.
Thanks.
super job. Well done again. Yeah, one more round. That was just unbelievable. So anyway. All right, now
I'm sweating. Let me take off my jumper.
now I think most of you actually, or many of you, have a Wednesday BNI, or you're in a state that's 3 hours behind us, and so it's way too early. But if you aren't, then clearly Hayley's presentation is this Wednesday. I'm going to be going and getting it again. Even if you don't do it as well, it's still going to be unbelievably awesome. So that was fantastic. That was so good. Rightio. As far as these, we've been talking a little bit. The good thing about sort of having these listed, when we're doing the one-to-ones, it's just helpful, just to touch off on things. One thing I have been sharing with most people this week, or the week just gone, is just around your email signature. And so try and keep them consistent so we're all got a relatively similar in your settings in Gmail. If you not sure how to do it, we can always do it in our one-to-ones. I noticed Adrian's done a brilliant job of copying exactly the way I've set mine up. So thank you, Adrian, for doing it that way. I've also noticed when I was noticing that with Hannah is that I've got stuff I need to update on it. So yeah, realistically, let's just try and be consistent in our font style and our signature picker across the board, even if it's just using you know, your role, your phone and email, and your showcase page. You know, realistically, you don't need to necessarily be pushing them all to the social channels that you have, but clearly you can do that if you wish to. But the main three things, even if you're just using Basecamp for correspondence back and forth, particularly if it's to the client, is just use those three things. You know, so that there is your phone, your email, and your showcase page, right? So people know that they can find all that sort of stuff. And I guess while I'm on that, is keep an eye on your showcase page. You know, I do try and I feel like I'm better than some organizations in that I'm going in relatively regularly. But have a look at your showcase pages. If you let me know then when we're in our one-to-one, if there's things that you've noticed that need to be updated, maybe you're in a BNI now that's not linked. Maybe you've done new projects that I haven't added to it. Just have a look at that and just make sure we keep that nice and up to date, which will be good. And for those of you, now that you are in the chapters as well, clearly that should also help feed to your gains sheet, right? So it's all the same sort of information on your showcase page as what's on your gains sheet anyway. So keep that nice and current. I'm sure Hayley will be looking forward to being able to say that she is now a fully fledged graduate of Monash Uni. This was just in terms of traffic lights, you guys are all aware. We've already talked about what our targets are in terms of staying in the green. One thing that I'm finding really interesting is Adrian and by the way, Hayley and others, did you get your traffic light reports this month now that you've got BNI Connect?
Yeah.
I am.
And
yes.
are you included?
Yeah, I got mine
as
well.
Are you included on it yet or not yet?
Yeah.
I was on mine.
Okay, I was going to say you'd be.
I'm in green.
Green already. Serious?
Yeah.
I was in yellow.
Oh, it's pretty hard. Well, Hannah, you've been in for 1 week.
I've only been a week and a half.
Exactly.
Okay, no, that's kind of unfair then.
Yeah. So clearly, that's a win. By the way, Hayley and Ben, you need to celebrate that. I'm making that down as an asterisk.
Sorry, I was on mine too.
Yeah. So that is a win. If you get in the green from get go, that's not usual, right? So and even I don't necessarily have that expectation because it's actually quite hard to get in that first few weeks. If you're not hitting the ground running. So well done, good job. Yeah, so I'll try and take a screenshot each month so that we do have everybody's. So just on that, maybe save your traffic light details into your Dropbox under our Diffy BNI part. Is that everybody know where that is? I'll maybe just remind me when we do our one-to-ones this week. Just show me, and I'll take a screen grab, and we'll start to keep an eye on that, but also celebrate the fact that we're. Sounds like everybody's doing really well there. Just in regards to state of plays, what we'll do now is with Rhea now having gone off to greener pastures with the, I don't know if they're greener. Actual fact, they're probably just fruitier because she's in the wine region. She's gone off to fruitier pastures. But we'll get Jake, hopefully once he's back up and running, to join us in Victoria at the 4:30 Tuesday slot, which would be, I think, 4 o'clock in SA. Queensland will do the 5 o'clock here, 4 o'clock there over daylight savings. And WA, if you jump on at 2:30 your time on Tuesdays, that would work out really well because, then basically we should all be done and dusted. So by 3 o'clock WA time, 6 o'clock my time, which means I can collect Oliver in time and maybe go to the beach, which seems to be popular for everybody. I think probably the only thing to say around we've only really got Evelyn and Anthony now. I reckon, Anthony, if you like that Friday one, I would probably go with application in hand on next week. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we would have, but you're going to then, I think you've got another one at least that you were going to be going to anyway, which was, there's an online one, is that right? Or it's City 2, which one? Or maybe
City 2.
City 2, yeah, okay. So, yeah, but we'll talk about that as well on Wednesday. And then with also just the one-to-ones now, just to make it consistent. So, Ben, your one-to-one day, you're basically got the 5:30 slot on Wednesdays, and Evelyn has the 4:30 slot. So, in other words, that's what, 1:30 and 2:30 for you guys in WA. And yeah, Evelyn, I'm happy if you wanted to catch up for, even if it was just a quick chat tomorrow, Evelyn, if you wanted to speak about, you know, just a step out plan, you know, over the next week or so, you know, where we might identify to get you into a BNI that you think is going to be best for you, right? So, so yeah, we can always do that if you want to just message me, or we can, as I said, we just spend a bit of time like I did with Anthony, just to kind of have a bit of a stepped out plan, because I know we've still got a couple of little question marks around some of the ones that you've been to as well. So we don't have a roaring favourite at this stage. So, okay. The only thing I think that springs to mind is I'm just using, so people happy. It seems like the LinkedIn message thread seems to be our main sort of everybody can read things sort of thread. So does that suit everybody, the DM on the LinkedIn? Because I guess we all know that we're the same person on LinkedIn, whereas on Facebook we have dual personalities, right? So LinkedIn, to me at least, seems to be the best direct message forum for all of us. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So the reason I was asking, so there's the I'm Just a Man event. I think it's Sunday week. It's on it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday evening. It's got Michael Hutchins' sister talking. It's got Lane Beachley presenting, and it's pretty much a BNI type event. Clearly, well, Lane Beachley's Sydney. Well, in fact, I think both Lane and Michael Hutchins' sister would both be Sydney. But that's an event that normally costs probably 5 times what it's charging, because it's a Zoom event. Clearly, you don't get the catering and all the rest of it. But if you'd like to attend that with me, let me know, and I'll get tickets for all of us to sort of go en masse on a Sunday night. It's a bit like doing a cross-functional BNI, to be honest, if you're interested. But maybe if everybody's okay, maybe just let me know by tomorrow afternoon after they're all in, and maybe do that via LinkedIn direct message thread. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. And then next week, as far as guests go, Lisa G is going to join us. And so for those so Lisa G is just a local Melbourne West business coach. So I thought she'll be fun to have come along. I've asked the Rockstar Marketer to come and join us. So his name is Paul McCartney, and he does a thing called the Marketing Network. So I'd like to get him to come along. I think he does general over the, as far as marketing concerned, he's a good person to know. Certainly, I met him very early on, and he is a marketer, and he's sort of a small business marketer at the end of the day. So I'm just trying to list people that I think it would be good for us to meet. So Paul is one. The other person that I thought might be good to see if he'd be interested, Emily, is our magician friend. Jackson Aces, you remember? So I don't know. I think the reason he might be interested in coming along and meeting you guys, is because clearly the more people that know of him, he can clearly do online events as well as offline. And so whilst he's based in Sydney, I think Jackson might be a good person for you guys to know. He was brilliant, I thought. Yeah? You reckon, Emily? I'm going to say yes. No reaction.
Yeah, he was cool. That would be fun.
Yeah, cool.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. No, I wasn't sure. I guess on that, we haven't been able to get Martin along, but hopefully Martin will. He's certainly doing our merch, so hopefully that's something that we'll have this month, and we'll be able to be kitted at least in polos for summer. And then the other thing is that I'd said to Adrian, and maybe we'll talk about it into the state of plays, but I'd like to do, at least from a Victorian point of view, is that once a month we would actually get together for a brunch. And so maybe on the last, so in other words, we'd meet at 10 o'clock and maybe go to a venue that's not too far away from us all in Victoria. So we'd still have our laptops in front of us so that we'd be able to meet with the rest of you guys. But maybe Hannah and Emily, you guys could, go and meet up on that morning and have a breakfast or brunch in the same time. And you guys might want to do the same, Ben and Evelyn. Although I know you guys have probably got the largest distance to probably cover off on, and it would be probably early in the morning for you, putting you in peak traffic. But we're not going to forget you. The reality is we just might be eating a burger in front of you or whatever, pancakes maybe. But the idea is maybe on the 30th of November, we'll start. I like the idea of sort of making our meetings in future more like blended meetings. Does that make sense, Hayley? And I don't know, Hayley, Anthony, and
I'm a fan.
Adrian, any sort of immediate ideas to that? Maybe once a month we get together and we do it as a face-to-face meeting.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll talk about that in our one-to-ones. The other thing is, in our one-to-ones and also in our state of play. Yeah. So I think that's probably the only thing that I needed to touch off on. Anything you think I might have missed, Adrian?
No, I think you went through all of it, everything that we discussed before.
Cool. The other thing, I guess, just a reminder, if you've not got Coin and you wish to explore Coin, then clearly Melissa, just give her a call or send her an email, and she will set you up in the same way as what the rest of us have been set up as. We do still have, Andy's been doing Bounty Boxes is a Coin client, so we do have a Coin client at the moment, and that's quite a good client. And so, yeah, it's something to be aware of. It's likely to float this month, by the end of the month, I think. So then it becomes, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But just something to keep in mind if you haven't done already. I've mentioned the brochure. So I'm hoping the brochure, I've already got my quotes. So the idea with the brochure will be is I'll get it printed for us in Victoria. Because I'll just do it locally with who's done it in the past, and it was easy for me to do design and printing at the same time. So I'm just going to get 500 printed to start with. And then what we might do is for Ben and Evelyn, Emily and Hannah, in the same way as you've done your business cards, we'll just get them to print off the brochure for you so that you've got brochures ready. And you guys, given it sounds like Hannah and Emily, you're going to be presenting, right? So you'll be presenting at your chapters. So we should have in mind that we want to get those brochures to you and done before you actually have to present, right? So I think it makes a big difference, right? I remember giving a presentation on the same day as maybe a plumber. But when I remember one guy going, check out the marketer presenting versus the tradie that was presenting, right? So the tradie, I can't remember if he gave out anything, right? But the reality is something tactile for B&Is it's really good, right? Just so you know, it really makes a difference. You don't want them to be looking at it while you're presenting necessarily, but you want them to know that after you've presented, have a read. If you'd like me to talk it through and help you understand what it's explaining, then more than happy to do that as part of a one-to-one sort of thing, right? So yeah, that's it for me. I feel like that was great today. Well done, everybody. Good job. You want to go around the room for us, Adrian?
Yeah, okay. Are we still recording?
Just actually, real quick, I have an appointment at 11.
Yeah.
So I'm going to head out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, okay. Just